Hello, and welcome to TruceTalk, the podcast where we come together to support our heroes, both veterans and active duty service members, as well as civilians from all walks of life. I'm your host, Lenzy, your certified clinical hypnotherapist and hypnotherapy instructor, dedicated to helping you find relief from the burdens of fear, anger, panic, grief, anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Here at TruceTalk, we understand the struggles you face, and we want you to know that your feelings are valid. You're not in this journey alone, and there is hope for healing and transformation. If you're ready to take the next step, I invite you to visit our website at www.trucetalk.com. There you can click on the Contact Us page to schedule an appointment or share your story with us. For those of you seeking to schedule an appointment through the Veterans Healthcare System, please remember that you can request an authorization from your primary care provider to see me by name. Your well-being is our priority, and we're here to support you every step of the way. If you find value in our discussions today, please like, follow, and subscribe to the TruceTalk Hypnosis blog. You can also connect with us on Instagram at TruceTalk and join the conversation on our new YouTube channel using hashtag TruceTalk. Together, let's create a community of healing and hope. Thank you for being here, and let's get started on this journey together. And today, we're going to be diving into a topic that is often overlooked, but is crucial for our overall well-being. The 7 types of rest. In our fast-paced world, we often think of rest as simply sleeping or taking a break. But there's so much more to it. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how to truly recharge our minds, bodies, and spirits. Let us begin with the most obvious type of rest: physical rest. This is the kind of rest that allows our bodies to recover and heal. It includes both passive and active rest. Passive rest is what we typically think of: sleeping, napping, or simply lying down. Active rest, on the other hand, involves low-energy activities like gentle stretching or walking. Remember, our bodies are not machines. They need more time to recover from the daily grind. So, how can you incorporate more physical rest into your life, you may be wondering. Consider setting a regular sleep schedule. Consider setting a regular sleep schedule, taking short breaks throughout your day, and listening to your body's signals when it needs a pause. Now, Take in a deep and slow breath. Imagine a beautiful garden filled with vibrant flowers and lush greenery. Every day, the gardener tends to the plants, watering them and pulling out weeds. However, if the gardener never takes a break, the garden will eventually suffer. The soil becomes compacted and the plants begin to wilt. One day, the gardener decides to take a day off, allowing the garden to rest. After a day of no activity, the soil loosens and the plants perk up, soaking in the sunlight and rain. Just like the garden needs time to recover and rejuvenate, our bodies require physical rest to thrive. Without it, we risk burnout and fatigue. We have emotional rest. This type of rest is about allowing ourselves to feel and process our emotions without judgment. It's about creating a safe space where we can express our feelings freely. Emotional rest can come from talking to a trusted friend, journaling, or even seeking professional help. It's essential to recognize when we're carrying emotional burdens and to take the time to release them. Ask yourself, are there emotions I've been holding on to? How can I create a safe space for my feelings? Now, take in another deep and slow breath. Imagine an overflowing cup. Picture a cup that is constantly being filled with water. As the cup fills, it begins to overflow, spilling water everywhere. The cup represents our emotional state. If we keep pouring in experiences, stress, and feelings without taking time to empty it, we will overflow. and create a mess. One day, the cup decides to take a moment to pour out some of the water, allowing it to settle. After releasing some of the excess, the cup can hold more without spilling over. Emotional rest is about taking the time to process and release our feelings. By doing so, we can prevent emotional overflow and maintain balance. Now, let's talk about mental rest. In our information-saturated world, our minds are constantly bombarded with stimuli. Mental rest is about giving our brains a break from the noise. This can be achieved through mindfulness practices, meditation, or simply taking a moment to breathe deeply and clear our minds. It's important to create boundaries around our mental space. Consider setting aside time each day to unplug from technology and engage in activities that promote mental clarity, like reading or spending time in nature, or even listening to the TruceTalk Hypnosis podcast. Having been in the military and traveled to many different countries, I remember the busy Autobahn, the highway. Taking a deep and slow breath. And as you exhale, imagine a busy highway filled with cars zooming in every direction. The traffic is chaotic and it feels overwhelming. One day, a traffic light is installed, allowing cars to stop and take a breather. As the cars pause, they can take a moment to regroup, reflect on their routes, and plan their next moves. After a short break, the traffic flows more smoothly, and drivers feel less stressed. Mental rest is like that traffic light. It allows our minds to pause, regroup, clear the clutter, leading to a better focus and clarity. Now, take in another deep and slow breath. Fill your lungs and exhale, because now we're moving on to sensory rest. This type of rest is often overlooked, but it is incredibly important. So listen closely. Our senses are constantly engaged, from the bright screens of our devices to the sounds of the world all around us. Sensory rest involves reducing sensory input to allow our brains to reset. This could mean spending time in a quiet room, closing your eyes, or even practicing deep breathing exercises, which I've included on the www.TruceTalk.com website under the section of the ketamine hypnotic audio recordings that you can download at your leisure. Now think about how you can create a sensory retreat for yourself, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. You could even start by dimming the lights in a room. Take in a deep and slow breath. Inhale through your nose. Fill your lungs completely. And exhale. Imagine a vibrant concert with flashing lights and loud music. While it's exciting, it can also be overwhelming. One day, the concert organizers decide to dim the lights and lower the volume for a few minutes. As the audience takes a moment to breathe and relax, they can appreciate the music and atmosphere without sensory overload. After the break, the concert feels more enjoyable and immersive. So you see, sensory rest is about reducing overwhelming stimuli. And by dimming the lights and lowering the noise, we can recharge our senses and enhance our experiences. And with all that's been happening lately in the news, online, around the world, brings us to what's next: social rest. And while social interactions can be energizing, they can also be draining, especially for introverts or those who are feeling overwhelmed. Social rest is about surrounding ourselves with the right people, those who uplift and support us. It's okay to take a step back from social obligations and prioritize time alone or with those who bring us joy. Now, I want you to reflect for just a moment on your social circles. Are there relationships that drain you? How can you create more space for positive connections? Take in a deep and slow breath. And imagine a chameleon that changes its colors based on its surroundings. When surrounded by vibrant, supportive friends, it shines brightly. However, when it's in a group that drains its energy, it becomes dull and faded. One day, the chameleon decides to retreat to a quiet spot in the forest, away from the noise. In this solitude, it regains its vibrant colors and energy. So you see, social rest is about recognizing when our energy is being drained and taking time to recharge in solitude or with supportive individuals. Now, let's take in another deep and slow breath. In through your nose. Fill your lungs completely. And exhale slowly through your mouth. Now, let's explore creative rest. This type of rest is essential for anyone who engages in creative work or problem solving. Creative rest allows our minds to wander and explore new ideas without pressure. It can be as simple as taking a walk in nature, listening to music, or engaging in a hobby that inspires you. Remember, creativity thrives in a relaxed state. Ask yourself, how can you nurture your creative spirit? Consider setting aside time for activities that spark joy and inspiration. Take in a deep and slow breath. Exhale. Imagine a blank canvas. Visualize an artist standing in front of that blank canvas. The artist feels pressured to create a masterpiece, but is stuck in a creative block. One day, the artist steps away from the canvas and goes for a walk in nature. As they breathe in the fresh air and observe the beauty around them, inspiration begins to flow. When they return to the canvas, they are filled with new ideas and creativity. Because you see, creative rest is essential for inspiration. By stepping away and allowing our minds to wander, we can unlock new ideas and perspectives. And finally, we arrive at spiritual rest. This type of rest is about connecting with something greater than ourselves, whether it's through nature, meditation, or a sense of community. Spiritual rest allows us to reflect on our values and purpose. It's all about finding peace and alignment within ourselves. Consider incorporating practices like gratitude journaling, meditation, or spending time in nature to nourish your spirit. Ask yourself, what brings me a sense of peace and connection? Now, take in a deep and slow breath. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. And realize that you are the captain of your own ship. And imagine or picture a lighthouse standing tall on a rocky shore, guiding ships safely to harbor. Over time, the lighthouse becomes covered in barnacles and debris, obscuring its light. One day, the lighthouse keeper decides to clean it, removing the buildup and polishing the glass. As the light shines brightly once again, it guides ships safely home. What I'm trying to say here is, dear listener, is that spiritual rest is about reconnecting with our inner light and purpose. By taking time to reflect and cleanse our spirits, we can shine brightly and guide ourselves and others. As we wrap up today's episode, I encourage you, dear listener, to reflect on these 7 types of rest: physical, emotional, mental, sensory, social, creative, and spiritual. Each type plays a vital role in our overall well-being. And remember, rest is not a luxury. It's a necessity. So take the time to explore which areas you may need to focus on and create a personalized rest plan that works for you. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the TruceTalk Hypnosis podcast. It's been an honor to share this space with you, to validate your experiences, and to offer hope for a brighter tomorrow. Remember, healing is a journey, and you don't have to walk it alone. If you're ready to take the next step, don't hesitate to visit us at www.trucetalk.com. Whether you want to schedule an appointment or share your story, I'm here for you. And for those of you navigating the Veterans Healthcare System, remember to request an authorization from your primary care provider to see me by name. If you found our conversation helpful, please take a moment to like, follow, and subscribe to the TruceTalk Hypnosis blog. Connect with us on Instagram at TruceTalk, and join our growing community on YouTube with #TruceTalk. Your support helps us reach more people who need to hear this message of hope and healing. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Remember, you are not alone, and together we can find peace and resilience through hypnotherapy. Thank you for being part of this TruceTalk family. I'm Lenzy. I'll see you soon.